Oh, look at that. A pinnacle of mana cheating. The biggest problem and the biggest minion. 20 mana minion that can come down to 0 mana and everyone is racing to, like, do just that. Because when something is costing 0 mana, you can also copy and paste it on the board. Crazy. Clearly, this is the underlying problem in Hearthstone. The S tier problem that we have detected, or that I put it at A tier. Well, it's probably S tier. Like, this is underlying problem for a very long time, just being able to explode stats, especially early on. Again, you're racing to put this on turn 4 and threaten the opponent. Just like Shaman was racing to summon a 10/10 because they were able to summon a 10 mana cost card somehow. With the Gnoll evolution, there's all kinds of shenanigans, like back in the day, way back. Edwin Van Cleef would come down with lots of stats, and technically you have to run removals just to counter that shit. And yes, now 2 people are talking about it simultaneously, Zeddy and Raron, suggesting, Raron is suggesting just one solution, the vocal solution, just change the entire game so nothing cost less than 1 mana. Or nerf 50 cards, I guess. That's also a solution. And Zeddy just, wants this thing to cost 2 more mana. I don't know if that's too helpful, but, you can either make tiny changes, big changes. For me, if you know me, you want to ask me what's your solution, because I have unique solutions every time. And I create my own card game, technically. I don't want to show these cards no more, because everything is going to change. But at least the visual appearance is going to change in the way you put the card together. So I'm not sure how different they're going to look like. But I want to just show my solution to my card game, and then what I would do to Hearthstone. Next to the mana bubble, there's the runes, the additional requirements for the card. So if you tap, in this case, a tap is, instead of using a minion to attack something, you tap it so it can't attack, and you waste 1 attack token. And that way you can summon this, and you have to waste that 1 thing. Meaning that there's something on the board, so technically you can buff like minions with this effect. It's a very interesting card design. There's also mana reduction, which either can come with blue runes or green runes. So in this one, you forge. I just basically try to copy and paste the forge idea of Hearthstone. And this card is not suppressive, but it is a combo. It goes down to 0 mana, and all of a sudden you can start creating a factory of these cards. Pretty strong effect, I would say. And I was able to win many games with this thing. And it's a very fun combo in the first place, because not many people are playing it. So yeah, the Forge, in my game, you kind of sacrifice 2 mana to create a token. You spend those tokens to discount. This can go down to 0, it doesn't matter to me, because you're still spending mana somehow, right? That's how Forge works, after all. You're not just, like, mana cheating. This is where things get really stupid and complicated. And yes, things are not supposed to cost 0 mana if they just come down all the way down from 20. That means they probably have pretty good stats, too, when they do that. So the way I will deal with mana cheating is nothing will really cost 0, to be honest. Nothing will be discounted that much. Unless you meet special requirements, which something I can easily change. This seems like the most notorious mana cheaty card. This can go down to 4 mana. Still not 0, and I again control every single mana point. You have to have no shields. You have to sacrifice 1 mana crystal entirely. So it's not even 4 mana, it's like 5. And you have to have an empty hand, or empty board? It's probably empty hand. I already forgot. I'm trying to, like, spell out Reno with this. That's why there's so many runes. I was ruthless with this. And still just 5... Oh, but what does it do? Like, it just gives you shields. Congratulations. It's a weird one. Mana cheating in general is just super controversial thing. Especially because it's good. Because it's day one problem enabling decks in the first place. And you have to, like, very carefully pick the mana cost for these cards. It's such a very complicated card design. The way they do it is just probably wrong altogether, but they just kept doing it, and often enough these giants become a problem. It's just fascinating to me, but, like, it seems like a part of a really ugly design that just went horribly wrong. And it's not like these cards provide some kind of amazing feature. You gotta keep track of this thing very carefully. It's very complicated stuff. Like, especially this, no one wants to play this because, first of all, it's definitely not gonna cost 0 mana anytime soon. And you still have to keep track of this when you draw it. Like, you need to know if you're drawing into a 4-drop or a fucking 10-drop, and it's not gonna do anything. Right? Keeping track of this shit, like, it's so weird. So prepare yourselves. We're gonna dive very deep, because as a game designer, I want to know every single detail there is, so I don't fall into the same pitfall in any way imaginable. And my solution to Hearthstone specifically is limit the mana cost of cards. So this should come down to like 3 mana, potentially. This is how ruthless you have to be. Maybe 2 mana, but you can reduce the mana cost so more classes can play this stuff. Not just like self-damaging classes. Right? Make it so that it's limited to 3 mana. Minimum. And that's it. Super simple. So you know you can actually make these things cheaper because they cannot just be cheated out. They cannot be just cheesed. But the problem with the game now is that the 3 mana 8/8 probably not good enough if you have to work for it. Fuck that shit, right? See where the problem is? Now it's getting locked in. This sort of gameplay where just things get vomited onto the board, just kind of getting locked in because, like, well, that's a deck. That's how the deck plays. What did you expect? We're trying to summon them giants and get a fucking scam win. And Blizzard is gonna fucking nerf this anyway, so people are desperate to play it right now. This is what's going on in Hearthstone. Another way is, like, every single turn this could get discounted as long as you're damaged. You know? If you have less health than your opponents, reduce this by 3 mana every single turn. So it cannot come down on turn 2. That's another solution, which would be a great thing. Like, as long as you have like 6 cards, a lot of people would be able to play Mountain Giant all of a sudden, because you don't have to have the super special tapping ability, right? And also, just giants are stupid in a way of, like, they're just 8/8s. That's it. I mean, eventually it's gonna get boring. So I'm not sure why to make them so strong, right? Why make them out of control? Why make them boring in the first place? Just stuff like, oh, hey guys, you can manage this. It's kind of weird, right? Because the funny part is, now we cheat out this giant, because this can come down for 0 mana too. As long as we can summon minions onto opponent's board. Fascinating, right? 2 giants are problematic. This third giant is also fucking problematic, and this one was problematic for a very long time, creating the fucking handlock archetype, which is not necessarily like a fascinating deck, but it's like unique, I guess. It's not fascinating. It's just, luckily you can trade with anything you want. You can go face, make a threat, whatever, right? It's iconic. and doesn't create problems no more in the game. But Playhouse Giant does. Basically, 3 out of 4 giants, poorly designed, and it's kind of upsetting. Yeah, if you can... Yeah, I think that's a pretty good redesign for giants specifically. Every single turn. What about this one, though? Because this one, like, every turn you have, like, 3 or more monsters on the battlefield, so reduce this by 1 mana. Right? Or 2 mana because it's in your hands. Maybe it has to go faster. Maybe you draw an extra card this turn to reduce this by 3 mana. Like, there's that. Where's those giants, right? Where you can actively do something to reduce the mana cost instead of just do random shit and get this as early as possible. No one should be in a rush. No one should fucking get anxiety for playing a giant as fast as possible. That's so annoying to me. It should be a little bonus for doing something that your deck already is doing. So that we're solved that. But the deep dive does not stop with giants. Yes, now, after all these years, these fucking giants are still a problem. You must understand, like, there's something wrong with the game now, or game design. Something very rooted that Blizzard just looking away from. Because it's like, what the fuck, these are still playable? Bro, like, Deathwing is not playable. I'm sorry, bro. But giants? Like, how long do I have to scroll to find a playable 4 card? Besides giants. Just asking simple question, right? Who plays anything else besides mana cheated something playable, somewhat playable cards, but it's only because it's 0 mana. So of course it is. So yeah, you see, every card probably could use mana cheating if we could just distribute it from giants to something else. That would be nice. If giants would fucking generate coins, that would be so fucking satisfying to me. Giants give you coins. Let's go, bro. As long as you meet their conditions. That would be so cool. I would put in my game, bro. Just to laugh at Blizzard. Hey, my giants give coins to people. There's no mana cheating. I just give coins. Because coins is the opposite of mana cheating. Mana cheating is reduction of a certain card. A coin is ability to spend mana to anything you want. And I much more prefer that sort of design than just like mana cheating 1 card, because you're just gonna, get sick of it eventually. No one plays Ysera, no one plays Malagos. These are pretty cool cards, but they don't do anything until turn 9. Alexstrasza, somewhat playable. Congratulations, Ragnaros. Nobody plays that. You can generate. So far, we're going down, guys. No one plays Tiamat after all this time. No one plays Sylvanas. No, Melia is a very, very new card. I think I'm able to skip that shit. And it's also a new legendary, so it must be good. Everyone plays Boulder Fist Ogre. You will not convince me otherwise, but we can skip that too. Evasive Worm. Warrior. Nothing. Yes. Very fresh legendary too. But people stop playing it. How cool is that? They don't need the high cost cards no more? Alright. Leroy, somewhat playable, but... So what is the card that is playable that's not legendary? Alright, how far down we still have to go? This Corset. Oh, wait! Oh, look at this shit! Is that the one? Is that the one that we playing? Of course it is! And guess what it can do? It's just not a 4 mana card. It's kind of playable in pirate decks, I imagine. It's still shit, but like it's more playable than the rest. Woodman is awesome, but again, it's one of those new cards that still nobody plays. Fascinating. Big Game Hunter. Can't wait to kill those giants on turn 4, am I right? Let's fucking go, bro. Yeah, this should cost less if there's a giant on the board. This should go, come on, man. So far the core set is like completely useless besides the giants. Like, do you understand how fucking weird it is that everything revolves around the stupid, like, mana cheating to some extent? This not played, I'm sorry, man, like, nothing. Except Viper, it's a counter, though. Nothing makes sense to play anymore. Giants is the only thing that, you know, the core set is holding on to. Of like, oh my god, this is the only thing I have to offer to players now. Fucking... This is a comedy show now. You know, and we have the finale of comedy in the Hearthstone. I present to you two different sides, two different opinions. The dude looking to the right, the dude looking to the left, and the dude looking straight at you. Why did you steal his cookie, bro? See, I know how to craft comedy. Bro, the only playable card is Dirty Rat and Neophytes. Yeah, let's go, bro. Like, there's five playable cards. So we just looked at core set, but we have to look at the entirety of standard to understand the full spectrum of mana cheating. Luckily there's no such thing as double blue Death Knights anymore. I don't know if it's a honorable mention, but yeah, making things cost more is a thing. In fact, one of the most honorable mentions we can make when talking about mana cheating is this bad boy over here that requires, you know, addition to another comedy special. Because even though mana cheating is obliterating the game, we cannot play Razor Scale. Unfortunately, it's not that great. I mean, put a Divine Shield on this thing, like, come on, man. Make it a 1/5 Divine Shield. If it's trying to make changes to the game like this, it has to survive as well, please. And at the same time, 1/5 with Divine Shield is not that bad when you're actually crippling yourself too. Everyone wants to mana cheat. There's no exceptions. So, I mean, this not being playable is so sad. When it's supposed to be, and supposed to be helpful in these situations to prevent these turn 4 blowouts. When they're very likely to happen because you know what opponent you're facing, you know what they're trying to do. And maybe, you know, this is the Razor Scale of what has to happen to the entirety of the game. Maybe it is the easiest solution of, like, instead of nerfing things individually, you just, like, fucking bam, slam, whatever happens, we'll see, we'll fix the problems. But we're just gonna implement this overarching solution, right? That nothing can go down to 0. Literally nothing. Is the easiest implementation, is the quickest solution, but it's gonna cause, you know, some kind of ripple effect that, you know, will have to get fixed. And I think it's a pretty good one. You know, I can stand behind this solution. My, again, solution is to limit, just like this. Cards cannot cost less than 2. This card cannot cost less than 2. It would be, you know, a keyword. I would call it, like, limited. You see, limited to 2, right? Or to 1. 1 is probably just limited. You don't have to actually specify it. It's just, like, limited, right? Or anything. Any amount. And yeah, I feel you have to buff Razor Scale to insane amounts where you don't even take the negative effect of this. Because why? Like, it's not playable. Make it playable, but for at least a little bit of time. This is a very important part right now. And there's the stupid Zilliax, which has many problems. Not just the mana cheating one. You know, it can craft its own problem. So there's 2 problems. Apparently, it's how you become the doomsayer, the predictor of the future, is because you have the problem yourself. You caused that shit yourself. So Zilliax knows what has to happen to the game for it to make sense. So the biggest problem, alongside with mana cheating, would cost less for each minion. And yes, there's different ways to change that, because for every minion, kind of makes no sense. It's the taking module, it's more like giant module. What is taking, by the what is that? Is a bomb? Nothing is taking. Literally, they're teasing me. This would be a giant module, and the giants would work just like I described, where every single turn, this would reduce in mana cost, right? And this could just do that, right? As a ticking module, once a turn, once end of turn, like this reduces by 1 mana. That would be fucking awesome, bro. You know, eventually it comes down, and eventually you can create an explosive turn. Things can cost 0 mana if you're desperate, you know, but like if you're creative, you can create something cool. See, the biggest hits to the that would happen in Hearthstone is this dude that would never say that's what is happening to Hearthstone. He would never fucking say that. He would not even be able to do that. But it's Mark, right? The combo man. He wants to reduce everything to 0 mana, otherwise it doesn't fucking work very well, right? I want to see just random video, but not this one. Because this guy has to rely on mana cheating ridiculously much. Let's see how does that work.
And this time, we're spitting hot fire. So for this combo, we're first going to start by playing Kurtrus. Then on the combo turn, we're going to play a Fellfire Deadeye and a Sing-Along Buddy.
Immediately, he shows a mana cheating card. That's the whole point of combos. At least it's to a hero power, right? But it still literally kills this channel, cuts it in half potentially of the possibilities. Or maybe kills like 80% of combos. We don't know, man. What would happen if we just like throw a blanket on Hearthstone and change everything? But it's just something to keep in mind, right? Maybe there's a better solution.
Deadeye and a Sing-Along Buddy. And we play expendable performers and trade off as many minions as possible while also hero powering in between for the OTK. Now we actually can pull off this combo pretty quickly by using Argus to reduce the cost of our minions and Clearance Promoter to reduce the cost of our spells.
Yeah, but probably it's not too desperate to have everything go down to 0. Also, if you could generate coins again, why not generate coins? Why there's so much mana cheating, but ability to generate coins is like a no-go zone? Unbelievable to me. And then you would be able to play like bigger minions. Another thing that Hearthstone just simply doesn't have, and you have to acknowledge that, is mana saving ability. If you don't spend all your mana, you should be able to, you know, save a little bit of that. There should be a little bit of a strategy behind this. The only thing that was trying to fix that shit was Cho'Gall, and he's still here, guys. He's still in standards. I should probably play it in every single deck. Just for entertainment value. Yeah, just like I should play this too. Yeah, so I just wanted to highlight that Mark is desperate to discount his hand as much as possible and collect that Exodia of different kinds. Is there anything in standards overall that I've missed? Starting from the neutral set? Because I know there's a lot of class cards that are weird. Oh yeah, and Ziliak's second problem is lifesteal. To be able to create a lifesteal Ziliax that also resummons itself. Wow, crazy, and cannot be targeted by spells, so you will just heal for 16 at least. Resetting the game successfully with 1 goddamn card. Because not only Ziliax is going to heal, but is going to destroy any size minions. Is just unbelievable to me. But this guy is full of problems, it seems. Should I look at Ziliax? I'm like, Pylon, recursive Pylon is pretty cool. Like, there's cooler stuff to do. Way simpler. There's The moment there's very strong stuff, the other stuff doesn't get played. The other versions of Ziliax doesn't get played. Just the most degenerate ones. But anyways, at least that one is not mana cheating, right? Because the mana cheating one, well, it relies on just exploding stats onto the board and just finishing the opponent before they can do anything and constantly reset the game themselves. Right? There's basically two tribes fighting each other, aggro and control. Aggro is trying to mana cheat and control is trying to play Borkler every single turn. I goddamn played against Highlander Mage, I got Borklered 10 times. It's a Highlander! What? But you just discover a Borkler. Reno is a Borkler. You can copy and paste some spells. Here you go, bro. I wonder if it was also a spell mage. Highland. That would be fucking ridiculous. Normally I would just like type in cost less because that's the usual way to find these cards. Cost has less. You need to type in has to be able to stitch words together. So it has to have costs and less. Giving us all these cheesy cards, pretty much. Even Frequency Oscillator was being played because it sort of acts like a coin. Like, imagine, bro. What a playable one-drop. Why is it being played? What was the crazy effect, man? This is a very sweet card. And it should make the spell cost 0, technically. You spent 3 mana already. So I'm not sure. I hint. There's another giant we didn't talk about. In fact, there's 2. But these ones, like, seem fine. This one, it does exactly what I describe a giant's supposed to do. Which is wait a couple of turns. You know, every single turn that you played an elemental, this costs less. Right? That's the idea. And Storm Giants, you actually have to spend mana. Wow. But if you have excess mana, that's a cool giant to have. That would be nice if it would, like, jump into your opening hands. If there would be a keyword of, like, if you have extra mana, one of these cards that have a keyword of, like, jumper, whatever, right? Jumps into your opening hands. Or just into your hands, as long as you don't spend all your mana. Because technically you would spend mana for card draw, but it's like you're drawing from your deck. It's so cool. There's so many design choices still unexplored, I would say. But some things just simply have to get fixed. And not every single mana cheat card is being played. I still like playing this sometimes. But you have to build a mech deck specifically. There's giants. 2 giants over here. We have laughed at those. But every single class we're gonna look through individually. I don't want to just jump into these cards and pretend that we are gonna describe everything with this. Yeah, even if a beast is gonna cost 0 after 3 mana discounts, no one would be that upset about it. And most importantly, only special cards can be copied and pasted with Celestial Projectionist. Those cards have to go to your hands and get the discount themselves. That's the whole point. And if the giants would be reworked, so they would have ticking modules, well, okay, maybe it's a terrible way to describe it, but I hope you can keep up. I mean, they would still go back to 20 mana and have to wait those turns out, which basically makes them unplayable because they disappear. Wow, so funny. Funny meme, you know, from one of the coolest combos. No, the most cheesy combos, not coolest. one of the cheesiest combos into unplayable. Now that's a good transition. That's what I like. Oh my god, the ugliest text ever. At the end of turn, shuffle a bomb. Bomb your opponent. Alright, finale. Just in case I'm missing something. Shouldn't the Spain Warlock play this card? Am I wrong? I mean, you want a giant with a funny mustache. And in your hands, to begin with. There's this mana cheating. Cost 1. It's kind of crazy with Dorian because you can make it so it basically is unkillable, right? You give a Divine Shield to this bad boy, you put up a bunch of taunts. There's so many. A new Lockdown Druid is available somehow, somewhere. Oh boy, disgusting. I'll have to try it. I don't think this is a good design, to be honest. This is very scary. It shouldn't affect too many minions at once. Just because it's, you know, a passive effect. Let's just say I do bet on Dorian being a problem in the game for a very long time. It would be nice if a tradable would also reduce the mana cost of a card. You know, again, distribute mana reduction, because it's a fine concept. It's just too aggressive. Yeah, you gotta play those giants before turn 9 or everything will disappear, and they will have control. I don't know, I don't see anything else worth talking about. Now, on to the every class individually. And we got a ding for some reason, bro. What a random thing. And first honorable mention is that corpses feel like mana cheating because it gives you stronger effects overall. And this allows you to mana cheat a giant using that 5 mana card. Right, a 10/10 though. And you wouldn't think that this is mana cheating because it's a goddamn 5-drop. But it hits pretty hard. Are you serious? Why is this card not being played and smacking my face right now? What's going on, bro? I'ma have to build a deck for this thing. There's no way it's not playable. Well, shut the fuck up, man. I just, random tangent, but like, Jesus Christ, what? Some quick draw cards make things cost less. One thing would be affected if you think about excavates. There's the 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana spells you discover. 2 mana, 3 mana, or 5 mana respectively. And them costing 1 mana all of a sudden, 1 mana more, is a big fucking nerf, I'm not gonna lie. So I don't know what the solution is, but again, just throwing a blanket would create a lot of work for fixing the game. And I think Blizzard tries to avoid that desperately, changing the game dramatically. But this is a change I would still swallow. I'm okay with that. Cost health instead of mana. Yeah, funny thing, right? There's a different type of mana cheating entirely. This one's not so bad though. Also, you have to heal yourself to play this. Lol. You know what the greatest mana cheating is of all time? Infinite mana cheating. Just infinite effects, like the brain one. Now that's fucking mana cheating on steroids. And it definitely creates decks. It definitely has to be taken care of very carefully. That the effect is not too strong. That Odin doesn't just fucking kill you with armor. That this thing doesn't just like constantly keep damaging you over and over and over and over again. And make you scared of drawing cards. Like, for fuck's sake, these are like infinite effects. There should be more, but these are fairly new and they constantly break the game just as much as mana cheating does. So, good luck with that as well. It's a deep topic. of how much you can do with one card, pretty much. Excavate, it costs 0. You know, this card would have to be different now. It's so sad. Maybe if it explicitly says 0, then maybe you can figure things out, but like it's a tough one. See, that's the ones that I'm talking about. It costs 0. And then the 2 mana one, the 3 mana one. It's hard to find. The chunkers. Because everyone wants to just generally make this change. Nothing costs 0 mana. And there's this stuff. But nobody plays it. Why? Because you still have to play a 7 mana card. Mana cheating is usually an ability to just pull something down. Pull a giant threat down as early as possible. With Plagues, this is a pretty big threat, but no one is like trying to cheese the giants. But I think they would probably try and build the deck for this. Like the Rainbow DK is trying desperately to actually summon these giants. And potentially you can make it be as fat or just giants oriented in a way. And this also helps for aggro decks too. If you can find efficient plagues. And that's it. I mean, it's crazy. So there's the Plague DK plus Rainbow DK, the best DK. Plus you freeze your opponent while you add it. I mean, this for me is terrible card. The Reska is a terrible card. And it's all just mana cheating oriented. They're already scary as they are. But costing 0 mana like makes them so ridiculous. All of a sudden your opponent can just swing tempo to their side, steal your minions, and destroy the rest. Like, what the fuck? I thought Soul Stealer was bad enough. But when you play Soul Stealer, you just have a 5/5, and it's not just you just have a 5. You deleted everything around you, and gain corpses, and now you have a 5/5. It's a crazy effect already, and on top of that, you can still make it crazier as long as you just play more cards. Fuck yeah, let's go, bro. Play more mana cheesy material. See, maybe it was not a random tangent because this is an infinite effect card. It's ridiculously relevant even though Zeddy wants to laugh at it by showing the fucking pickaxe of Warrior, which I play. I like pickaxe, alright, Zeddy? Shut the fuck up. I like pickaxe. This is my jam, alright? You're gonna get smacked by this. Like, they definitely need to be more careful. This sort of stuff just gets out of control. Or find that special rule that fixes the game entirely. Guess why Demon Hunter was playing Sharpshooter? Because a lot of cards cost 0 mana. And they rely on mana cheating the Nagas as well. The reason why I play Sharpshooter is because I'm able to mana cheat with this card. A lot of shit rolls around it. Now Window Shoppers, the new mana cheesy bullshit. That not only you can mana cheat the card itself, but the card itself mana cheeses a bunch of effects. Which includes the most powerful one of Borklaring twice. Thank God that exists. Yeah, you had cards like Momentum, you had this and another hero drop spell, you have cheap Nagas to just torment your opponent with the machine gun. Funny enough, Jotun was not breaking the game. I mean, it cannot do many things in one turn. It has literally specific limitation. This is how a normal for the rest of the game card is designed. So take notes, and it's not like bad statted or whatever, right? But it's poor. It's a poor card. It has to wait for the next turn to take its effects. Like, that's how you do it. It's a good example of a functional card, functional card because it's not played. But it's a fun one. Why did they do this, by the way? What the fuck is this? Guess what got nerfed, baby? I think it was different. Maybe it's 2 mana or something. Something changed about this card. And I have it disenchanted for a reason, guys. The mana cheating of Druid. This was nerfed. I wonder why, bro. I can't quite understand. This is very playable because it's actually 0 mana. This is somewhat... Sometimes it fucking stole the game from me. When a 1 mana legendary also has a ridiculous effect. Pretty cool, I guess. That's very playable when I had to play Druids. Often looking into this card to get my win conditions right. The biggest culprit, the fucking win condition, cultivation, 0 mana cultivation. You remember those, right? Amazing. Do you have a solution for every one of these cards? Because even if it's just 1 mana, it's still gonna be a problem that dominates the game. Right now it's not, because no more Treant cards. Haha, fuck yeah. This is not really a problem, but it kind of is a problem. It's already starting at 9 mana. It's just a good card. And if you summon 2 dragons, it's already a good card. Congratulations. Oh my god, mana cheesy card, but it's too slow. Aha. Oh, wonder why people are not playing it, am I right? Zeddy said this was good. I even put on a thumb. Even as a thumbnail, it's not good. Terrifying. Ah, yes, the ultimate mana cheesy parts. Where this was splayed in Treant Druids into, you know, the questionable cultivation. And now we're just moving to a different class that can cheese out this stupid thing and gets another effect. So it worked on both sides. It self-damaging worked and the Treant part worked. Congratulations, Blizzard. At least you know how to break the game. Wow. You would think this is a harmless card. Jeez. Nothing that costs 0 mana is harmless. You know, now you have to spy every single 0 mana card and how you can cheese out. Because they definitely make the best decks. Obviously, tell me in the comments what you think. If there's any considerable thoughts about this. And you can be as deep as you want about it. Because, again, I'm making my own card game. So I might want to actually know what you think. This is pretty good now. But it's cost specifically 2 mana. I mean, you can say cost 2. You don't have to say cost 3 less, right? But they kind of have to do it. But no. Fuck that shit. Just cost 2. Why brackets? Alright, so far. 3 classes. 3 out of 3 classes. Mana cheated. Exclusively. They focused on that shit. They build the decks around mana cheating. It's literally the core of Hearthstone now. It's hard to believe, to be honest. And a Hunter is no exception either. It has a card called 5 mana, 0 mana card. And on top of that, it's actually breaking Wild 2 with the egg. Summoning the Rhino that gives minions charge, then you just keep popping the egg a bunch of times. And you have a bunch of 0 mana beasts that can smash your opponent. Crazy. Wow. And it's because it's 0 mana, of course, that you can make an explosive combo for free. This one's 0 mana too. Basically creating the Breakfast Hunter. An entire Hunter thing. This is not being played though. Just basic mana cheating is not good enough. Unfortunately. But if you know, you know. Like, maybe every single class relies on mana cheating because, you know, with Rogue, I'm not gonna say too much because I'm playing it right now. I'm playing the Wishing Well Rogue that's supposed to do exactly that. I'm playing Sonya too. So there's a lot of cheese going on. With Hunter, it's somewhat like more reasonable class now. Never, when facing Hunter, do I cry myself to sleep. But there's this shit going on. The mana cheese that you can't even see very clearly, but it's fucking 4 mana 12/12. It's something that's not supposed to exist. I was already crying against 4 mana 9/9 that Warlock got for, you know, its birthday. This one has even less requirements and can spawn a 12/12 that you desperately have to Borkler or you lost. Congratulations. Is this mana cheating? Kind of. This fucking sucks, bro. This has to be addressed of, like, still, stats are holy, you know, you can't just go above and beyond whenever you feel like it. Hunter is no longer dominating the game because those mana cheesy decks became faster and better, basically. This got nerfed. Congratulations. Well, that one definitely helps clear the board to some classes. So Hunter just gave up, I guess. Now that's some mana cheating that I can understand, bro. The Giants, the father of Giants. This one, bro, gets a handshake. And this one gets a vomit points on top of the tip of the arrow. Just a little bit of vomit in there. Every single mana cheesy card is, like, stronger than the others. Because they cannot be checked easily. It's so difficult to balance them. And anytime they just strong, Blizzard gotta do something really fast. Like, they have to nerf the card by 2 mana, not just 1, because it's cheesing mana anyways, right? It's not a typical card. It cannot just be nerfed as a typical card of like, oh, +1 mana, guys, I fixed the problem. I don't think you did. Let's go to Mage now. Oh wait, Mage has been deleted from the game and we don't have to actually look at it. Besides the stupid fucking keyboard. What is that, bro? What, 9/9 again? 2 mana 9/9? Thank you, Blizz. At least it comes over time, but it's still nonsense that Mage relies on now and is gonna play just as often as the stupid skeleton card, Cold Case. Now, this is the staple card of Mage. But Mage does not play this card. It's so funny. No way they can't play this. This is insane. But now it's just like Spell Mage. Mage is, I swear, Mage is like the stupidest class ever. Spell Mage, bro. So we're gonna exclude all the minions now randomly. Oh, minions don't matter, guys. Spell Mage. Why not to also invent a minion mage then? I think that would be even cooler, guys. Oh wait, shit like that exists all over the Hearthstone, just minion decks. So to be exclusive, they have to do this. Anyways, mana cheesing allows Civ to deal more damage, that's for sure. This is not being played. So where's the cheese of Mage? Well, technically, again, Spell Mage has the stupid card. I don't care about the cheese's mana. I honestly don't care about Mage. I'm not threatened. I just, like, don't like Mage at all. And that card is the only example. So, I can say that this is like, wow, this is a good example of a class that doesn't mana cheat, because this class should be deleted from the game. So thank you very... Maybe they just can't mana cheat because they're not mana cheating minions, they're just mana cheating spells a little bit. So fuck that, Blizzard didn't put in enough mana cheating in there. You know? We know what the story with Paladin is. It's bad. There's still remains of a card that gets cheesed out. Another card that gets cheesed out. Every fucking class, bro, I swear. Another card that cheeses out things, and it's not that funny. You know, because this card was dominant. I'm not happy about that. But at least it's just one card, you can silence it, I guess. Things got a lot worse, though. Hey guys, you like Twisting Nether? Yo, I got something even better, bro. Now that's fucking cheese right there. But again, you still have to wait for this effect to be available for you. And you're not gonna, like, murloc a board that's, like, small. That's not threatening. Yeah, I can't even block giants. This is only for spells. So sad. No class can deal with giants. Oh my god, so much mana cheating. This is probably the shittiest card when it comes to mana cheating. But we'll see how it plays out. I want it to work. I want to see... it just kind of feels like cool to mana cheat. Because you have all of a sudden a playable card that's slightly bigger than the others. But I swear, it would be just as cool to just get more coins. But now they're not going to print coins because wishing, well, breaks the universe with coins. There's not a lot going on, but the Flood Paladin just relies on this one stupid combo. To summon 6 minions and then summon a 0-mana giant. Crazy! And then Ziliax on top. Wow. So it's able to enable a bunch of mana cheating with a shitty card. No one saw that coming. Alright. Yeah, it's a weird one with Paladin. Is there really nothing else? Gotta peek my... or strain my eyes into this. I can't believe Crusader's aura stopped being the problem. You know, as if I control the board all the time and Crusader's aura doesn't do anything. That's weird. It's still also a game-winning card of the Flood Paladin. It relies on 2 things, mana cheating and this stupid card, you know? Anything that's any class relies on, I want it nerfed. I want it gone. Like, stop relying. Stop fucking using the same thing over and over again. As if, like, it's your drug. It's your little fucking virtue thing. And the Astral Automaton idea was just dumb. It was just like, oh, let's enable the playing the same card over and over again mentality. I feel like Hearthstone is so old now, it just needs to be released as a second version. I feel like it's laggy as well. Just going through collection is laggy. It's not supposed to be laggy, bro. It's a collection! Fuck me, man. Every time I fucking flip page, it feels like my computer is gonna fucking burn to crisp. There's just too many things wrong with Hearthstone. They should just make a new version. I swear. Start fresh. You know, see where we go from there. And race alongside Raynad and me of who makes the better card game. That would be fun. I mean, Priest is mana cheesy as well, like, for fuck's sake. Every class. And it's getting out of control, bro. It's like, oh, this can be cheesed out, so this is the only playable card amongst these. Except the Borgler, of course. Literally everything else is like, who cares? You can't play it for 1 mana. It sucks. Haven't seen this one, so it must be bad. Now that's mana cheating that I like, and it's really powerful too, for fuck's sake, wow. But here everything is under control. I want to see more of this being played. But I have to do everything myself. That should be the actual way you summon giants. Lots of giants. Or flood the board on turn 4. That's the way, bro. You have a bunch of 1-drops, turn them into 4-drops, and bam, slay 'em. Not the way Warlock is doing it. Shouldn't have happened ever. People tried playing this card. And they don't anymore. They don't play Priest at all. So, pretty cheesy, and it plays the cheesy version, basically. Or it tries to. Now, it's just 1 card, though, in the end. You're just cheesing Drifters and Ziliax. And Ziliax in every single fucking deck, Ziliax, bro. When a neutral card can be mana cheated, oh my god, bro. It's the next level of insanity. Rogue is now fair. And this new mana cheesy card is not exactly that good. You need specifically 3 drops, and it would be hit the hardest if the blanket would be thrown. This would probably be very unplayable if everything costs 0 mana, 1 mana, even though you discount by 3. This has to be, like, nerfed at this point. Like, shit has to be changed. Yeah, that's a good mana cheesy card. And that's a bad one, because it discounts a lot of things and turn them into 0 cost spell. And it's the prime example of the asshole behavior. Because this one just you have absolutely no chance, and the entire deck revolves around it as well. And it's just like, I'm getting tired of this. Literally one thing is killing Hearthstone for a very long time. And it's every class. Every single class is cheesing as much as they can. Of like, oh, this is a cheesy card. Okay, let's put it in the deck. This is a little bit cheesy. Yeah. They had to fucking squeeze in a Borkler just to get rid of a 1 mana card that would turn to a 0 mana card. Wow, what a crazy nerf that is. Warlock does not need a mention. I will not even fucking look at the Warlock anymore. Actually, I will. It's just like, it's disgusting, bro. Even this was a mana cheesy card. What? The Wheel of Cheese, bro. What the fuck? Simply because he summoned this stupid giant afterwards. Thank you, Blizzard. We figured. This was cheesed. And fucking gave people headaches, bro. Like, what? You just draw this, discount by 5, and it's like on turn 4, giant demon that wins the game. Where's Sargeras now, bro? No one plays it? Crazy. But it is another one of those forever effects. So, cool. And that's what Warrior's known for right now. Maybe it's not mana cheesing too much, because it can't. But at least it has Bran. At least we have something to be upset about. And fucking 6 brawls. 6 brawls, bro. So, thank you for watching this brand new video. And see you guys next time. And, mana cheat is in every single class, and if you don't know how to fucking play with mana cheat cards, you're screwed! There's no other decks, bro. There's nothing else going on. It's just mana cheese. Everywhere. All the time. What did you expect? Gotta be fixed, but honestly, I don't know what kind of perfect blanket you could throw to fix all of this at once. But you gotta do something, because fucking game is on fire. Alright, see you guys next time.